Have you ever found yourself awake at 300 a.m., enveloped in the quiet darkness, staring at the ceiling, and wondering why sleep slips away? You might question whether something is wrong with your body or mind, feeling a mix of frustration and curiosity. If this resonates with you, know that you are not alone. Waking up in the early morning hours is a common experience for older adults, and it's not merely a random quirk or an inevitable part of aging. There are deeper, meaningful reasons behind these awakenings rooted in the complex interplay of biology, psychology, and lifestyle. In this comprehensive exploration, we'll uncover 5 compelling reasons why many older adults wake up around 300 a.m. And what these moments might reveal about your health, body, and life. Each reason offers a unique perspective, illuminating the intricate changes that come with aging. By the end, you may view your sleep patterns with renewed clarity, compassion, and appreciation, equipped with insights to enhance your rest and well-being. These explanations go beyond surface-level assumptions. They're grounded in the science of aging, the psychology of rest, and the subtle shifts in daily rhythms that often go unnoticed. We'll explore hormonal changes, evolving sleep cycles, physical health factors, lifestyle habits, and the emotional undercurrents that may quietly disrupt your sleep. This journey is approached with honesty, respect for the rich life you've lived, and a focus on empowering you with practical knowledge. If you've ever wondered why you're awake at 300 a.m. or so, you're in the right place. The insights here could not only improve your sleep, but also deepen your connection to your body's needs, offering a path to greater peace and understanding. Let's dive in. Reason 1, declining melatonin levels. One of the most significant reasons older adults wake up in the middle of the night, often around 300 a.m., is a natural decline in melatonin production. Melatonin, the hormone that governs your sleep-wake cycle, serves as your body's internal clock, signaling when it's time to rest and helping you stay asleep through the night. In your younger years, your body produced robust levels of melatonin each evening, supporting long, uninterrupted stretches of deep sleep. As you age, however, this production gradually decreases, a change that can profoundly impact the quality and duration of your rest. You may fall asleep easily, especially after a busy day or a relaxing evening routine. But by the early morning hours, 200 a.m., 300 a.m., or 400 a.m., your melatonin levels may dip too low to maintain that restful state. Consequently, your brain begins to shift toward wakefulness, pulling you out of sleep without an obvious trigger, like noise or a vivid dream. This isn't a sign of failure or a flaw in your body. It's a normal aspect of aging, as natural as graying hair or changing vision. However, external factors can intensify this effect. Even subtle light sources such as a glowing alarm clock, a street lamp filtering through curtains, or a hallway light seeping under the door can further suppress melatonin production. As you age, your sensitivity to these environmental cues heightens, making 300 a.m. awakenings feel more pronounced and frustrating. Consider Harold, a 72-year-old who always prided himself on being a sound sleeper. Over the past year, he's been waking up around 3:15 a.m. most nights, feeling alert, as if it's time to start the day. Initially, he felt frustrated, assuming he was doing something wrong or that his sleep was broken. But after learning that declining melatonin is a common part of aging, he shifted his perspective. Harold stopped blaming himself and made practical changes. He invested in blackout curtains to keep his bedroom pitch dark, avoided screens for at least an hour before bed, and began taking short evening walks to reinforce his circadian rhythm. These adjustments signal to his body that nighttime is for rest, reducing the frequency of his early wake-ups. While he still rises early on occasion, he now works in harmony with his body's rhythm rather than fighting against it. This awareness can transform frustration into self-compassion. Understanding that early awakenings may stem from a biological shift empowers you to take proactive steps. For example, you might experiment with a consistent sleep schedule, limit evening light exposure, or consult a healthcare provider about low-dose melatonin supplements if appropriate. Small changes like these can make a significant difference, helping you reclaim deeper, more restorative sleep. The key is to approach your body with kindness, recognizing that it's adapting to a new phase of life and responding to its environment in ways that you can support. Reason 2, advanced sleep phase and shifting circadian rhythms. Another key factor contributing to 300 a.m. wake-ups is a phenomenon known as advanced sleep phase, where your body's internal clock gradually shifts forward with age. This biological change causes you to feel drowsy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning, often well before dawn. You might find yourself nodding off during an evening movie, struggling to stay awake past 900 p.m., or waking up at 300 or 400 a.m. without an alarm even when you'd prefer to sleep longer. This shift isn't merely a change in habits, it's deeply rooted in the biology of aging. In your younger years, your circadian rhythm typically aligned with later bedtimes and wake-up times that synchronize with daylight or social schedules. As you age, however, this rhythm advances, moving your sleep window earlier. You may unintentionally fall asleep by 800 or 900 p.m., and by 300 a.m., your body has completed its rest cycle, leaving you alert in the pre-dawn darkness. This can feel disorienting, as though your sleep is finished while the world outside remains silent and dark. This change doesn't indicate a problem. It's your body adapting to a new internal schedule, like a clock that's been gently reset over decades. However, it can feel misaligned with your lifestyle, especially if you're accustomed to later mornings or have social commitments that extend into the evening. Additionally, quieter environments common for older adults living alone or in less active households can amplify this shift. Without the noise, activity, or social demands that once delayed bedtime, your body may initiate its nightly wind-down earlier, reinforcing the advanced sleep phase. Take Charles, a 68-year-old retiree, as an example. After leaving his career, his days became less structured. He eats dinner around 5:30 p.m., watches TV for an hour, and is asleep by 900 p.m. By 300 a.m., he's wide awake, feeling rested but puzzled by the early hour. Initially, he worried he was developing insomnia, but learning about advanced sleep phase helped him reframe his experience. His sleep wasn't broken, it was simply on a new schedule. To adjust, Charles began staying up slightly later by reading a book under warm light, taking a gentle walk after dinner, or calling his daughter for a brief evening chat. These small social and sensory cues stretched his sleep window, reducing 300 a.m. wake-ups and aligning his rhythm with his desired morning routine. Over time, he felt more in sync with his daily life, and the early awakenings became less frequent. Recognizing this natural shift can alleviate guilt, confusion, or the sense that you're failing at sleep. By understanding that your body is operating on an earlier timetable, you can experiment with strategies to gently adjust your rhythm. For instance, engaging in stimulating activities in the late afternoon, exposing yourself to bright light during the day, or delaying bedtime by 30 minutes can help shift your sleep window closer to your preferences. These tweaks respect your body's evolving needs while fostering a sense of control over your rest. If you're finding these insights valuable, consider noting reason 2 in your reflections to acknowledge this shift in your circadian rhythm. Understanding this change empowers you to work with your body, creating a sleep schedule that feels balanced and restorative. Reason 3. Physical discomfort and health-related interruptions. Physical discomfort or underlying health issues are frequent contributors to 300 a.m. wake-ups, as the body becomes more sensitive to subtle disturbances during the quiet night hours. As you age, the likelihood of chronic conditions or minor ailments increases, and these can disrupt sleep without obvious warning signs. These interruptions may manifest as a stiff joint, a full bladder, a sudden ache, or even a slight change in the room temperature, quietly pulling you out of rest. For example, arthritis can make lying in one position for hours uncomfortable. You may fall asleep easily, but after several hours of stillness, stiffness, or pain can build, nudging you awake by 300 a.m. Similarly, conditions like acid reflux triggered by eating dinner too late or lying down soon after a meal can stir you from sleep, causing discomfort that's harder to ignore in the stillness of night. Even seemingly minor issues, dry mouth, muscle cramps, or a room that's too warm or too cool, can prompt light awakenings when your body is more vulnerable in the early morning hours. One of the most common physical reasons for older men waking at 300 a.m. is the need to urinate. As the bladder loses elasticity with age, the urge to relieve it becomes more frequent and urgent, particularly at night when distractions are minimal. A trip to the bathroom can shift your body from deep sleep to light alertness, making it challenging to return to rest. Medications often prescribed for conditions like hypertension, heart health, or pain management can also play a role. Side effects such as increased urination, changes in body temperature, or heightened sensitivity to light or sound may subtly disrupt sleep patterns, often without you realizing the connection until you track your habits closely. Consider Eleanor, a 76-year-old who began waking up around 3:30 a.m. nightly. For months, she attributed it to aging, feeling resigned to restless nights. However, a conversation with her doctor revealed that a medication was affecting her hydration levels, increasing her nighttime bathroom visits. With guidance, she adjusted the timing of her dose, prioritized hydration earlier in the day, and made small changes like elevating her pillow to reduce acid reflux. These tweaks reduced her interruptions, allowing her to return to sleep more easily when she did wake. Eleanor's experience underscores that physical wake-ups are not signs of a failing body. They're evidence that your system is still active, responding to its needs, and signaling opportunities for better care. These signals can guide you toward informed choices. Consulting a healthcare provider about medication, side effects, experimenting with a more supportive mattress, or addressing minor discomforts like joint pain with gentle stretches before bed can enhance your rest. Viewing these wake-ups as messages rather than setbacks fosters a proactive approach, helping you align your sleep environment and habits with your body's needs. By listening to these cues, you can cultivate deeper rest and a stronger sense of trust in your body's wisdom. Reason 4. Lifestyle habits that alter sleep rhythms. Daily routines and habits often overlooked can significantly influence why older adults wake up at 300 a.m. Over time, seemingly minor choices like eating dinner earlier, reducing physical activity, or winding down sooner in the evening accumulate, reshaping your body's internal rhythm. These shifts signal an earlier start to the night, which naturally leads to an earlier wake-up time. As life slows down, particularly after retirement, your days may lack the external cues that once anchored your sleep-wake cycles, such as work schedules, commutes, or social engagements. Without these, your body may drift toward an earlier rhythm. A quiet evening with minimal stimulation, perhaps spent reading in dim light, watching a favorite show, or relaxing in a recliner can trigger melatonin production sooner, lulling you to sleep by 800 or 900 p.m. As a result, your body completes its rest cycle by 300 a.m., leaving you awake in the pre-dawn hours, alert and wondering why morning feels so far away. Diet and substance use also play a subtle but powerful role. Eating dinner early, while often healthy, can lead to a blood sugar dip overnight, especially if you skip a light bedtime snack. This dip may not feel like hunger, but can still rouse you from sleep, prompting a light awakening. Similarly, caffeine consumed even in the early afternoon, perhaps in a cup of coffee or tea, lingers longer in an aging metabolism, lightening sleep and increasing susceptibility to disturbances. Alcohol, often used to relax in the evening, can also disrupt sleep architecture, causing fragmented rest that surfaces in the early morning. Walter, a 74-year-old retiree, experienced this shift gradually after leaving his career. His days became less structured, leading to early dinners at 500 p.m., naps in his recliner during the evening news, and bedtimes before 900 p.m. Without realizing it, his entire routine had shifted earlier. Soon he was waking at 300 a.m., puzzled by his alertness before dawn. Reflecting on his habits, Walter made intentional changes. He added a short afternoon walk to boost daytime energy, read in brighter light to delay melatonin production, and avoided evening naps to preserve nighttime sleep pressure. These adjustments gently delayed his sleep window, aligning his wake-up time closer to his ideal morning rhythm. Over weeks, he noticed fewer 300 a.m. awakenings and a greater sense of harmony with his daily life. Your body thrives on consistent rhythms, using daily patterns as cues for rest and wakefulness. When these signals weaken or shift, your internal clock can drift, leading to earlier fragmented sleep. By mindfully adjusting habits such as staying active during the day, timing meals to stabilize blood sugar, or creating an evening routine with gentle stimulation, you can guide your body toward a more restorative sleep cycle. The beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. Small, thoughtful changes to your routine can yield profound improvements in how you rest, empowering you to reclaim a sense of control over your nights. If these insights resonate, consider noting reason 4 in your reflections to acknowledge the power of your daily habits. These patterns are within your influence, offering a tangible way to support deeper, less interrupted sleep. Reason 5, emotional and psychological restlessness. Sometimes waking at 300 a.m. is less about physical factors and more about the quiet stirrings of the mind and heart. As you age, the stillness of the night can become a canvas where buried emotions, memories, or subtle anxieties surface. In these early morning hours, with no distractions to occupy your thoughts, your mind may wander to past relationships, unresolved decisions, moments of joy, or quiet longings, gently pulling you from sleep. This restlessness is often subtle, distinct from the intense anxiety of youth. It may feel like a soft hum in the background, an unspoken worry, a reflective thought, or a sense that something remains unsettled, even if you can't pinpoint it. With fewer daily responsibilities to distract you, your mind has space to process past experiences, joys, losses, regrets, or words left unsaid. These thoughts can echo loudly in the pre-dawn silence, stirring you awake as your heart seeks to make sense of a lifetime of moments. Loneliness can also play a role, particularly for older adults whose social circles may shrink over time. Children move away, friends become less available, and routines change, leaving the daytime filled with activity, but the nighttime steeped in quiet. This solitude may not feel overwhelming, but can manifest as a subtle ache for connection, a desire to share a thought or hear a familiar voice when the house is still. These emotions, though gentle, can be enough to rouse you from sleep, inviting reflection in the early hours. Consider Gloria, an 80-year-old widow who keeps busy during the day with gardening, calling her grandchildren, and watching her favorite shows. Yet around 300 a.m., she often wakes with thoughts of her late husband or worries she tucks away during daylight hours. At first, she assumed her sleep was faulty, fearing she was losing her ability to rest. Over time, she realized her early awakenings weren't about sleep at all. They were her heart asking to be heard. To support herself, Gloria began keeping a small journal by her bed, jotting down thoughts when she woke, whether a memory, a worry, or a gratitude. She also created an evening ritual, listening to soft music, sipping herbal tea, or writing a short note to a friend. These acts provided an outlet for her emotions, easing her mind and helping her return to sleep more peacefully. Over months, she found that these moments of reflection not only reduced her wake-ups, but also deepened her sense of self, turning nighttime into a space for quiet wisdom. Your heart doesn't follow a strict schedule. It processes what it needs when the world is quiet. These wake-ups are not flaws, but signs of your depth, a testament to the rich experiences that shape who you are. Instead of fighting them, approach them with curiosity and kindness. What is your mind trying to tell you? What needs acknowledgement or a gentle space to be heard? Simple practices like journaling, meditating, or connecting with loved ones during the day can give your emotions an outlet, reducing their intensity at night. By honoring these moments, you may find not only better sleep, but a richer understanding of yourself in this stage of life. If this reason resonates, consider noting Reason 5 in your reflections to honor the emotional wisdom these wake-ups may reveal. Your heart's quiet stirrings are a reminder of your resilience and depth, offering an opportunity to rest with greater peace. Final reflections. As we conclude this exploration, take a moment to reflect on what resonated most deeply. Was it the biological shift in your internal clock, the subtle impact of health changes, the influence of daily habits, or the quiet call of your emotions in the night? Each of these 5 reasons offers a lens to understand your 300 a.m. wake-ups, and none suggest that something is wrong or broken. Instead, they highlight how your body and mind continue to adapt, respond, and evolve even in the soft hours before dawn. These early awakenings are more than interruptions. They're gentle messages urging you to listen to your body's needs, your habits, and your heart. You're not alone in this experience, and you're certainly not the only one seeking answers. With understanding comes strength, and with strength comes the freedom to make small, meaningful changes that foster deeper rest, greater comfort, and a stronger connection to your unique rhythms. As you move forward, know that you're not merely aging, you're growing, evolving into a phase of life rich with wisdom and opportunity. This stage invites you to rest intentionally, care for yourself with kindness, and greet each morning with greater peace and understanding. Share your thoughts. What did you learn, and how will you apply it to your life? Your insights inspire others, and your journey matters. Thank you for joining this exploration. Your presence here is a step toward greater self-awareness and restful nights. Keep listening to your body, honoring its signals, and embracing the beauty of this season of life.